Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We back.
Oh my gosh. I miss my intro. I can't stand that thing. Do you guys
Yeah.
know that I've been playing that intro for years now? You guys know my intro. And all of a sudden, I'm not allowed to use the song. It's just so ridiculous. How long have I been using that intro? For years. Like it just is part of
Since you was 5.
a long time now. All of a sudden, I can't use it. All right, you guys, let's get into it. Perry, what did you want to do really quickly?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna tell you this. I just wanted to give up Storm Monroe a shout out because he's been really doing some good work. I just got finished watching him. Lance Gross. He's coming out with a lot of good stuff, and I just wanted to
As
give him
you
a shout
guys
out.
know, Perry's favorite blogger, he absolutely loves him, is Storm Monroe. He cracks you up.
Mm-hmm. No, he keeps it real, and then he has interesting stories.
I
I
think
like.
it's because he's funny.
Yeah.
You like him. Anyway, shout out to Storm Monroe. You're doing a good job. And now you're Perry's top dog. All right. This is what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about Cardi B taking all the money from Offset.
Damn.
It's not funny. Listen, y'all, I think I have COVID because I haven't eaten in 5 days. Perry, did you eat yet?
I know, but you know what though? I was thinking about food right before we came on, so I think I might be. Well, I thought the same thing the other day. I was like, I really want this hamburger to look good. When I got it, I couldn't really eat it, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try again today.
I've been in the bed all weekend, so I think I'm sick. So I'm not feeling well today. So I am delusional crazy, okay? Delusional. I've been in bed all weekend. We're talking about Cardi B taking the money. We're gonna talk about Jason Lee, his possible receipts to for what the receipts were for Beyonce.
Uh-huh.
We're going to talk about Johnathan Majors. We're going to talk about that first because that just happened. Getting how do I word it? Claimed guilty. I
Oh,
don't
well, yeah. That he was found guilty on.
found guilty. That's it. And then Christian Keyes. We got to talk about that second because that's crazy. So everyone's saying, "Oh, he's talking about." Because he came out this weekend, I don't know if you guys seen it, said that somebody had been harassing him sexually, and that he really all but said Tyler Perry's name, and
Yeah.
everybody took that and ran, and now it's not Tyler Perry. Okay, so let me go to this Johnathan Majors things first, because Johnathan Majors, I know I'm not into the Marvel movies. I think he did Marvel movies and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Oh God, look, it's all over that they just fired him.
Yep.
Child, they just fired him. It's a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I can say about it, they gave him his day in court, though. I mean, before.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say some things today that are going to be very insensitive. It's not my first time saying something insensitive, okay? But you guys, I don't mean any harm. I'm just telling you how I truly feel. And so everybody has different opinions because people hate on me every day. She said this, she said that. I don't mean to be rude, or and everybody, we think different, all right? Okay.
Right.
I gotta put it out there before I got a little Perry in me, okay? I got a little Perry in me. And I knew Jonathan was gonna get when they dropped. Listen, how do I say this in a adult way? Jonathan, they treat okay, I'm not gonna go. They you can't expect the same treatment in Hollywood. I hope I got my point across. My
Yeah.
my
Well,
very rude
I
point.
feel you. I don't really
What
know the
am I
best.
saying? Like, she's a white woman.
He's not gonna get treated like Tom Cruise in court.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. So look at there, somebody said it. Like, she's a white woman. What'd you think? What were you thinking? That's what happens. I think a lot of times Some people lose their mind, vice versa, and they expect equal treatment. You want equal treatment. That's the fair thing to do. You pray for equal treatment. But we live in today's society. It is what it is. Jonathan. Anyhow, I'm gonna read this word for word. That way, oh God, all of these updates. Well, I'm just going to read it. It says an update. So he got found guilty, and we'll go over the details in a minute. Johnathan Majors' attorney, Pira Chandri, tell us it is clear that the jury did not believe Grace Jabari's story of what happened in the SUV because they found that Mr. Majors did not intentionally cause any injuries to her. We are grateful for that. Chandri continues, we are disappointed, however, that despite not believing Ms. Jabari, the jury nevertheless found that Mr. Majors was somehow reckless while she was attacking him. Mr. Majors is grateful to God, his family, his friends, and his fans for their love and support during these harrowing 8 months. Mr. Majors still has faith in the process and looks forward to fully clearing his name. Now, like I told you guys, they have fired him. It's a wrap. Johnathan Majors is done in Hollywood. Now, I don't know if he can't make a comeback, but you're not working for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You've been found guilty of putting your hands on a woman. That's a no-no in every culture, first of all. Just that's a no-no. Now we hear, the rumors out there that she did this, she did that. It doesn't even matter anymore, Jonathan. The court has spoken. As of now, that's why they fired you. You're guilty. Okay. Now let's go down TMZ. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Braggs tells TMZ at the Manhattan DA's office, we are committed to centering survivors in all of our work. The evidence presented throughout this trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse. I think I can say it now.
Yep.
I hope so. And escalating patterns of I cannot say this word. Coercion, far too common across the many intimate partner violent cases we see each and every day. Braggs continued. Today, the jury determined that a pattern of abuse and coercion culminated with Mr. Majors assaulting and harassing his girlfriend. We thank the jury for its service and for the survivor of bravely telling her story despite having to relive her trauma on the stand. He's toast. He's toast. The verdict came down today, Monday in New York. The actor was found guilty on one count of reckless assault. And I believe he's only looking at a year in jail, but I think he's done in Hollywood. In third degree and guilty of harassment. Remember, he initially been slapped with 8 separate charges, all pertaining an alleged assault and harassment. But before things kick off, the DA's office agreed to drop 4 of them in an effort to consolidate their complaint. That's what you were trying to explain to me earlier, right, Perry?
Mm-hmm.
He was acquitted of 2 other charges, 1 count of intentional assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment. Now he faces a maximum sentence up to a year behind bars, which should not be that long, right? Maybe they'll.
Seriously, I don't think he's gonna get jail time for it, though.
You don't?
I mean, because I don't really know what like the third degree assault in the third degree. When you start talking about third degrees and stuff like that, I don't. I mean, I don't. And they said he didn't hurt her, so I don't see. Maybe probation, something. I don't know. I'm just guessing though.
I don't think he's going to get jail time either because it'll be very minimum. A year, cut that in half for time served. For good behavior. You know how they whittle it down?
Right.
But even if it's a year, we've seen people, it sounds so bad to me.
I mean, for real, as much as Krishan and Blueface go at it, I don't see no time. I just don't.
People are saying that the video clearly showed him running for his life. The jury, it is what it is. I see what you guys are saying. You know, I what am I trying to say without being rude? I don't know. Let me keep reading. The trial, which lasted about 2 weeks, had some standout moments right from the jump. In opening statements, when prosecutor alleged Majors had a history of violence in his relationships and that the March incident in question was simply the latest example. He did have a history. He has a very bad temper. He had a very bad, well, you could give yourself the excuse,
Uh-huh.
he had a bad childhood. Um, this video obviously was interpreted different ways. Prosecutors claims that Majors and his accuser, Grace Jabari, had gotten into an argument that night after she discovered some text messages from another woman, but asserts Major was the one who escalated things by allegedly twisting her arm behind her back and her finger as well. They also claim he threw her back into the car they were in after she attempted to exit. In other words, he allegedly roughed her up. The
Mm.
6 month and the 6-person jury agreed. I'm gonna have to.
Look, that's why you don't just be popping your ass, do things that define yourself in the courtroom. When you,
Yeah.
when you go to court, that shit can go two different ways. So
Uh-huh.
don't put yourself in that environment.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You can't. What were you, Jonathan? You have to keep yourself out of these situations because if you get caught in these situations, they're never gonna see things your way.
He a grown man. You ain't got to tell him that. I mean, he know how to
Plus,
get an acting role. He know how to go and make this money, make these movies.
right.
He know this.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it is
Hmm.
what it is.
One critical piece of evidence presented in court involves surveillance video of the night in question, showing a scuffle between Majors and Jabari, plus a foot chase shortly thereafter. Majors bolted away from Jabari, who runs after him for a few blocks. I mean, it seems evident, I agree, but the jury's just seen it a different way. Jabari herself also took the stand as the key witness. She backed the prosecution's case, namingly that Majors had gotten physical with her that night, and it followed a pattern of controlling manipulative behavior, at times teetered on violence. Also, too, people had said, well, why wasn't she arrested also? Because usually when it's evidence like this, they arrest both of them. They just said that automatically they weren't arresting her.
Hmm.
She described other alleged instances of Major losing his temper, and now I do believe he has a temper, and delivered emotional testimony on cross, though Major's defense team attempted to pick apart her story, including asking her whether she was actually injured that night, despite security footage that showed her partying after the fact and looking seemingly unharmed and unbothered. I'm not going to play the 911 call because uh, TMZ is a trope. They will take it down,
Yep.
okay?
Okay.
But there you have it. He's been found guilty. It is what it is. He's facing up to a year in prison. He has been fired from Disney.
Yep.
Jeez, and that movie makes so much money. It is what it is. You put yourself in this situation. You put yourself in these situations. I don't know what he was thinking, what he was doing, how it got out of hand, but it is what it is. And
And like
I
you
think he's done. What do you think,
said,
Perry?
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, when Disney started dropping you and stuff like that, it's not a good look for no man to put his hand on no woman. Period. Now,
Period.
I'm not debating whether he did not. He went to court, found guilty. We're just gonna leave it at that part. But um, he might just have a story, like maybe like a steroid problem or something. He's sort of big.
Well, he has a temper, but listen, she was chasing him. I mean, I could go. I'm trying not to get. Thank you, Country Girl, for becoming a member. White Girl and Megan are similar types. Well, it is what it is. Demanding your white woman be great to Coretta, okay, to Coretta King Scott and Michelle Obama is crazy to me. He guilty for that too. Yeah,
See, I mean, he got a sense of arrogance about him. I think it's steroids.
why
That
do you
he
think
takes
he's
it.
on steroids?
Just how big and I have friends on that stuff, and they act really weird and strange. Just saying.
Harry then gave the man another.
A
He on steroid. I don't know, but
diabetes, yeah.
from what I seen, it looks like she was the aggressor. But I'm not on the jury. It is what it is, and and now you just messed up your life. I feel really bad because you came from such bad beginnings, but you did put yourself in this situation, and uh I know you had a horrible childhood, but it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna let everybody else tell their point of view because I don't know. Thank you, Lashonda, for becoming a member. Oh, you've been a member for a month. Thank you. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So that's what's going on. Well, I gotta wrap it up a little bit about do your time. The bad part is you're not going to be in that movie anymore. That is a
Yeah.
blockbuster.
Right.
They can make many Marvel movies. It has a cult following. Anybody would love to have been in that movie, and now it is gone.
And they're
So
not
you
even
have,
putting his character on the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying that he dug himself into this hole. I mean, you can't be bigger than life. Know your role.
yeah,
I'm not gonna go to his childhood and say what he been through. A lot of people went through a lot of shit. But that night, it wasn't a childhood drama. It was something he was doing as an adult. And we could say she chased him down.
yeah,
He just kept walking away.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Whatever the
Oh,
case
that's
may
right,
be,
Terry.
you know,
So maybe that's how they looked at it. The way you looked at it, like your actions could have been a lot different that night, and then you wouldn't have put yourself in the situation. I'm not being cold towards you, Jonathan. It's just is what it is. So I'm going to take calls because I want to hear what other people think.
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that. Now let's talk about this Christian Keyes situation because this is what I really want to talk about. I'm going to be insensitive. I do apologize. I cannot help the way that I feel. And I don't want y'all to get mad at me. And I will listen to y'all points of view. Okay. Emmanuel says he hopes he appeals it. I think even if he appeals it, I don't think they're gonna rehire him. I just don't. I hope they do though, but it's just a lot. He put himself in that situation. I don't know why I don't feel sympathy. Like, I don't know what he thought was going to happen. Okay, so if you live under a rock and you miss Christian this weekend, Christian Keyes came out and said that a billionaire had been sexually harassing him. And it was a lengthy video, about an hour. I'll just play a 2-minute clip just in case you missed it, because this is a trip.
Okay.
Uh, he's a cute guy too, real cute.
That's a billionaire, and I got $3,000 in my bank account. Who they gonna believe? Right? I got that $3,000. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Got to make sure little man's taken care of. That's my rent, and that's a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard, and I can get by. Work was slow, and a lot of the work that was coming it had penis attached to it.
Okay, so he's saying that he had to endure this harassment from this billionaire because it affected his wallet.
Right.
And he's not going to take on a billionaire. And the guy was, one time he woke up after drinking and the guy was in his bed. He just said all the stuff, and he touched him one time.
Yeah, no.
Okay. He also said that the guy offered to pay him $100,000 to take his shirt off. Now listen. And that Cassie gave him the courage to come forward. I don't care what you say,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm about to be, my lights are going out. Really judged here. I'm not understanding. You're a grown man,
Right.
pubes, everything. You're not a child. You're a grown man, and you don't speak up. You don't tell them to stop, and nobody should be harassed. You say nothing to them, but you record it.
That's the part I didn't get it. I didn't understand it.
I'm not understanding this. I don't. It's different. So I take my cases case by case. It's not one set standard for everybody because every case is different. Cassie, you bought into that because you had an affair. You cheated on your boyfriend with Puffy and bit off more than you can chew. Never knew Puffy was a controlling nut job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding him. I'm not. So, and I felt bad because I was like, this story just doesn't make sense to me. But you got the tapes. He had a pen. I recorded it all right here. And you never said anything the first time. The second time, I'm confused. Then everybody just everybody automatically felt compassion, which I didn't. And then everybody assumed it was Tyler Perry. Now, according to the rumors, it's not Tyler Perry. It's Robert Smith.
Well,
I don't even know who this, huh?
He did say that he had problems with 2 billionaires.
Oh no. Did you say
So
it was
now that's how I think both of the names got tied into it. You know what I mean?
I didn't hear that part. He said
Yeah.
two billionaires.
Yeah, something like that. He did mention something like that. Yeah.
But now the rumor is it's this guy. This guy just gave $34 million to Morehouse University. His name is Robert Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's a billionaire. I don't know why. I've never heard this name before. And May Smith stunned students by paying their parents and school officials when he announced he offered during a commencement speech. Wow.
Yeah.
It was to cover some of the students' student loan debt. Wow.
Right.
Oh, wow. If it's this guy, you got to be real. You got to bring that evidence you're talking about.
Right. We're gonna need something, but you know, I don't know. Like once somebody like give me a picture of something and I sort of visualize it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying this guy is one of the ones he's talking about for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but shit, giving 34 million when you're a billionaire, then sometimes you wonder what he getting back from it.
What do you mean?
Okay, look,
What do you mean?
I'm not okay. Say if what this guy was trying to describe was this monster, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, oh, I give you $100,000 if you got naked in front of me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not a thing. So,
Right.
and it's bad that I heard what this guy said, and I'm like, damn, he really left me confused. But now I'm looking at this gentleman we just seen and saying, damn, what is he getting out of giving 34 million?
What? That's what I'm saying. We need more information. And I wish everybody slow down and just wait until you see evidence and hear something. It was a reckless thing that he did. He gets on, he tells his story. He doesn't say who it is.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the evidence to support his claims. He's just talking. What if it's not Tyler Perry? What if it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
everybody needs to slow down. But we're all so quick to support victims and just believe the first thing that we hear, that everybody's taking this and just running with it. And he had a brother in the chat telling him, shut up, be quiet, just not now, and all this stuff. So it's just not enough facts for me. So therefore, I'm not ready to condemn anybody. Not
Right.
Tyler Perry, not Christian. I don't have enough information. And if I'm not ready to make a judgment, then no one's going to force me to. Then I'm just not ready. It's not enough information for me
Right.
personally.
I mean, neither.
It's
And
just not.
I just think when he mentioned he's like entertainment field and producers, something to that to make you think, okay, billionaires. He played in Tyler Perry movies before. Then you think, okay, well, is that the black billionaire he's talking about? It could be this Robert Smith. I don't know, but it left me sort of confused. And I can go back and I understand like how people get themselves in situations like, well, he was talking about he had three grand in the bank, had to pay his baby mama's rent. He had to buy some mustard, ketchup, and pickles from the Dollar Tree. That if he was still working at this time, one would say, well, the guy didn't want to lose his job, so he just avoided the harassment, right, of it all. But I don't get it. This is the whole thing. The part I don't get. You come on and drop all this knowledge, but you don't give a name. You want us to just speculate on who it could be. Then you say, well, yeah, it was so bad that you had to have a recorder on you at all times, and you always recorded everything. But then you let statute of limitations run out.
I was confused about that too.
If you want to clear the air, because you could have went and law enforcement or whatever back in the day. Or if you're going to just come out here now just to clear your own conscience and don't say a name, we're not doing that.
That's what it felt like. It was something on his chest. Megan says, he said, man's voice is recognizable. We don't know Robert's voice, unlike Tyler's. So, see, so Megan got her mind made up. Right. Tyler's a freak, just like all them other freaks in Hollywood. That's what I'm going to talk about in a minute. Okay. I mean, Megan, but I don't want to rush to judge. I just don't. Sharrell, he used to own BET. Oh, Robert Smith.
Okay.
CK Needs. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I'm just not rushing to judge. People are dragging Tyler Perry. You go to his social media, his Instagrams, and just pick a post and read them. They are condemning this man. They're calling him all kinds of names. I'm not willing to judge. Hey, Conscious. He mentioned characteristics and act that impeccably both Tyler and Robert voice. HBCU donations, very beloved figure and worked with since 05. Tyler. Conscious, I'm gonna drop. If you're around when I drop the mic, I need you to come up because I had to call Conscious. Today. And I said, I'm reading these comments and people feel so bad for Christian. And I said, and I'm just not. I don't know. I want to feel bad. Please help me to understand what he's talking about. Because I feel, and y'all going to drag me. That's why I warned y'all. Y'all going to drag me. I felt that if a man came up and touched Perry, it is not going. I just don't see Perry.
No, it's not going that way.
And I think Perry will knock him out, and my son, especially the little one. I just don't see that. And you keep going back and you're not saying anything and you're just taking this harassment and you don't say anything. I find it hard because a woman is different for me. A man can physically overpower me.
Right. And this
especially Puffy, like he has power and connection, and I'm not understanding. And then Conscious said, look at it this way. He said, you know how these gold digger girls sleep with anybody for the money, like Rick.
Wow.
Yep.
Robert Johnson, not Smith, owned BET. Okay, thank you, Bonji. And these women get with these men because they're looking for money, but then they get more that they thought was going to come from that situation.
Right.
That's how he's telling me to look at this. And he said this, and not every person is strong enough to stand up for that, or some people have their money on the prize, the money, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to take this.
Okay,
because
right.
I feel that I have no other choice because I don't want to lose what I got. That's what Conscious said to me. Let me drop the mic for.
And I can sort of understand what you're saying from that standpoint. You like, did the person just take all of this harassment just to save their job for income?
He's
Yeah,
saying,
I mean, and maybe some people will, but I'm telling you something, like, maybe if somebody just said something to me and I'd be like, hey, you know, it's not worth my job, but I'm not going to be at a table with my damn wife and you're going to come up and rub my balls. I'm whooping your ass or you going to whoop mine. That shit ain't going down like that. It's
but
just not going to happen, right? And you can say,
I
well,
have a hard time seeing that. But if you look at it the way that Conscious explained it, Conscious, I'm going to drop the mic for you, the link. Do you see what he's saying? He's
well, no,
saying,
he's saying that basically he endured it to keep his job.
right.
Okay. Because job meaning money, right?
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
if you're gonna be rubbing my balls, doing all this, having freaky conversations, whispering as you
Chat
walk
is
past,
going fast. We got 3,600 people in the chat, and y'all got opinions. All right, I will listen. Go ahead, Perry.
but I'm just saying you ain't gonna be whispering as you walk past and all this little freaky shit, all right? To me. Now, and if you was gonna do it, because the people can say, well, yeah, but he wanted to save his job, he had a family to take care of. Okay, that's true. So you having this guy massage your nuts when he feel like it, just to say the thing. Why didn't you just take off your shirt or get naked for the 100,000 if you were just looking for money? The other part I don't understand is why is he coming out with it now?
And that's what people say to victims. They do say that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what people do say that. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna come out and you want the record clean, say the name. Say give us the full story. Maybe I
Conscious,
could be wrong and insensitive.
Conscious, I really called you and I said, I want to understand where they're coming from. And you had to sit me down and explain this to me. Say exactly what you said, because I don't remember how you worded it. What did you say?
Some people, well, hey y'all for one.
hey Conscious. Y'all, this is my good buddy Conscious. Go ahead, Conscious.
It's really just an act of desperation for some people. Like, some people are so desperate to make it, so desperate to have the opportunity, to have access to the money, to have access to their legacy, that they're willing, unfortunately, to compromise their self-worth and their dignity. And I know something that Christian Keyes kept saying in his monologue was that I mean, it's obvious that his career means everything to him. You know, he's a hard-working man, and he's working his butt off to be in this industry, and that these men were powerful. So that was a big part of why he kept being so forgiving, because he did not want to rock the boat if it wasn't necessary. And he was just hoping that he could tuck some of this offense away, and that, you know, he could continue to move forward. But let me tell you something, Sharrell and Perry, like, in the LGBT world, there's something called a hobosexual.
A what?
A hobosexual.
Okay.
A hobo is not a homosexual. A hobo is a broke, natural born straight man who is without a home, without resources, and will do some very, very, very strange things for shelter, for a lollipop, for a glass of milk, for a warm place to live, to the point that they will let you put a picnic chair in their buttocks. Oh my God!
Wait, hold on, y'all. These comments keep going, Conscious. What? That's a man that is straight, but I'll do it if it means something good for me.
Desperate times, if he needs his child support paid, if he needs a phone, if he needs, you know,
for a phone.
Yes, there are people who, because they are desperate times, Sharrell, call for desperate measures, baby. And some of these people, as it relates to Hollywood, they are so desperate and so hungry for the Grammy, for the Oscar, for the wealth, for the visibility of it all, for the potential of it all. You know,
but Conscious, are we shaming the victim? I don't want to shame a victim. Are we shaming the victim?
By saying what exactly?
that just don't feel right. Just don't.
No, because I was speaking yesterday. There are things. So this is my belief, Sharrell, that Christian Keyes spoke very impulsively, and I think that that's why his execution of his truth came out real raggedy. And because it's a court of public opinion, we are a very tough crowd. Like, if you do not speak consistently and a matter of factly, your holes will be dug off and punched into your narrative. So I felt like there were definitely things. Like, for instance, he said, he's been harassed for 15 years, yet he trusted this man enough to get drunk in his presence, to trust that he was safe at his home, only to wake up and be violated again. Then he also said that that there was a car, because he kept saying, I never sold my soul. I never sold my soul or my booty. Yet he talks about a car that was purchased for him as an apology for this man offering him $100K to be naked, but he never said he refused the car, because he even spoke to the extent of saying that the man's name was on the bill of sale.
Yeah. Hold on, let me catch up on these really quick. Sharrell, I'm with you. Something doesn't feel right about this man's stories. Christian was a grown man. It's different for a man and a woman. That man wasn't running for his life. Oh, they're talking about that YT woman was running to get his phone back. They will never learn. We don't get the same treatment. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead, Conscious.
But there were just things that he said that just made people feel like, okay, girl, like, okay. And then people were saying, because it was all this confusion over him saying, well, look, I have went and allowed the statute of limitations to exhaust on the situation. Yep. But yet, in the same breath, I'm threatening to go to the police. So what was the point of letting the statute of limitation, like,
Thank you.
He put himself in a position, unfortunately, because this was an emotional presentation, to put people in a position to scratch their ass.
Yeah, and look, Conscious, and the shit left me at that moment when he went from, he's a billionaire, I got $3 grand in the bank, to I let statute of limitations run out. And what crossed my mind was this: why the fuck you lying?
Perry, Perry,
no. Let me make this perfectly clear. This is what I'm thinking. He's sending mixed messages, right?
Yeah.
Because if you let statute of limitations run out, why run to the cops when you just said statute of limitations ran out? Ain't shit they can do for you now. And if you're going to come on here and clear the air and let the world know I'm telling my truth and I don't want no dollar bill, no nothing, right? Then if you're going to have a tell all. Who fucking did it?
Okay, but opinion, you understand where he's coming from, because I talked to you on the phone about this too.
You do?
State your case. You're saying some people are. Go ahead, opinion. Opinion. She must have stepped away. She understands where he's coming from. She's saying that sexual harassment could happen to men. It could happen to women.
Can you hear me, Sharrell?
Now I can. Go ahead.
It can happen to both, yes.
Okay, so I said I do believe his story, because this is, first of all, it's too crazy to even make up. Secondly, here's the thing. I'm not saying that I know these type of men, but there are.
Oh, you went out again. Oh, I wanted her to hear. Opinion. Well, she says that there are men that, because of, let's say it's Tyler Perry, because the people's stature, Tyler Perry, Robert Smith, whoever, that if you speak up, that can mean trouble when these men have money to pay people off. It's not a smart thing. But so you're putting up with this because of his stature in society. And that some men, and we already talk about this in a minute when we do the Jason Lee story, some men use their power to get whatever they want.
That's very true. But okay, and if you were so fearful about these men with the big dollars, why are you talking about it now?
Should there be statutes of limitation on when I can talk about when I was assaulted? What? See, and so that's where when they say that to women, I get furious.
Right.
So you can't say that about men either. So I go back and forth. I'm not going to use the same standard across the board. The story has to make sense. And that's why I was really happy today because Funky Dineva came out and said the story doesn't add up to him too. Because he said that if you are a gay man, you just don't go around flirting with everybody, especially a straight guy. You have to
Right.
feel that it's okay to do that. What are your thoughts on that, Common? Conscious? I called you Common.
So it's two things I want to comment on. The whole statute of limitations thing. One of the reasons why they're pushing or they tried to shorten it, then they extended it, is because when you allow a crime to go unspoken for a long time, you allow evidence to get washed away. You allow, like there's nothing that a RAPE kit can do for you 15 years later. You also risk people who can corroborate the situation, who may potentially pass away. They might not even be alive, who were alive, 6 months after the offense, 4 weeks after the offense. And so they're really trying to help the victim by encouraging come forward as soon as possible, because the sooner the better, the more evidence there is to substantiate and legitimize your plight, etc. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, I agree with that too. And I think it also helps the defendant. Because if you don't went 20 years, now this defendant got to go back 20 years to try to defend something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say that it was another thing that made people scratch their butts was the fact that it was like he was giving away everything, which didn't make sense when he is saying that he's talking about wealthy, powerful men. So why would you tell them that you have recordings? Why would you tell them that, you plan on going to the police? Because we know, like in Diddy's case, there have been people who have turned up missing as a result of having proximity to situations. So it was weird that he was letting his left hand know what his right hand were doing. When Cassie did what she did, which he said inspired her, Cassie pulled this thing off. All you saw was the paperwork. She ain't do no live streams. She didn't jump in front of the situation. She had laid her groundwork completely out. So it was, a lot of people are now very afraid for him because he was also being emotional. It's easy for these people to take his life and for the narrative to be that, he succumbed to his emotional trauma, that, he just got overwhelmed and stressed and he leaped from his apartment building, or, he overdosed as a result. It's like he leaned into it. So it just didn't seem like it was well thought out. And usually this is why lawyers do not encourage their clients to speak, because they know human nature makes people emotional. And when you're emotional, you're not going to think and communicate in ways that are clear and concise, and you're more than likely going to put your foot in your damn mouth.
I mean, it's got people talking, I'll tell you that. And his brother was in the chat telling him to shut up, stop. Because if he did have a case, then you are giving the person that did this to you a warning. But maybe it was a case that he just snapped. So we got all kind of opinions in this chat. Cassie has someone's possibly behind her. He needs support, 2 different levels of money and access. There are a lot of people that believe him, and then others who don't. The man from P. Diddy.
I can see it both ways. Like, really, if you listen to the guy's story, and the part that makes it believable, who just wakes up with nothing to gain and go out and give a story like that, right? But then when I hear it, then I'm like, well, what's the outcome? What's the outcome he's looking for? I don't get it when you start talking about recordings and you avoided statute of limitations and you didn't go to law enforcement, but now you're talking about going there. So it just sent a mixed message. And if you was gonna just say the person's name, just tell the story. And maybe I could just be wrong.
And this leads to another topic. Tyler Perry. Everybody's saying it's Tyler Perry. Why do people think the worst of Tyler Perry? Everybody's acting like he's some kind of freak, hidden freak on wheels. I don't think about Tyler like that. So I don't know if he is or if he isn't. But Does anybody on this panel think it was Tyler?
Yeah.
Mainly because of the context clues he dropped. Of course, he said, this person was a big name producer, and he worked for him. This person's voice, y'all idolize him. If you heard his voice on the recordings, you would know it. So of course, people started going into his IDM, and it wasn't hard to go back 15 years and see who he was working with at the time, which was Tyler Perry, and we would know his voice, okay? And some people do feel like they idolize him, so it was easy to draw those context clues. And
Opinion. So you got cut off. Why do you believe him?
because here's the thing, like I said, not all men are the same. There are some male victims that fall prey to male predators. It's not common, but it happens. And I don't let me start this out by saying I don't think the lie was supposed to went the way it went. I think he was supposed to been telling people to protect themselves because that's the reason why he had the pen available to show people. I think in the process of him telling people to protect themselves, he got emotional in his feelings. And he started popping off because if you notice in the chat, his brother kept saying, "Stop talking," and they was calling him, and he was like, "Look, don't call me." And then he started crying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's past trauma pain. Like any victim you talk to, when they start talking, they release some of it, and once you release some of it, it feels freeing. It feels like a weight lifted off your chest. Because if you're holding it in, it's gonna weigh heavy on you. And so talking about it does help, but I don't think it helped his case because he dropped so many context clues and then didn't tell us nothing. And it was like you leaving us to wonder. You know what I'm saying? And he did say he reported this person, but he was blackballed after he reported him. And around that time, he was still working with Tyler Perry. And shortly after, 3 or 4 years, he wasn't working with nobody. And then he popped back up under the underground movies, low budget Tubi movies, what you would call them or whatever. That's how he made his big break. Now he's producing, I think, all the Queen's Men. And so now he's back on top. But I think what he was saying is, trying to tell people is to protect yourselves because there are people out here praying. Because he also said that this billionaire has men that he can call at his beck and call too. So he said he had them on the payroll and he can call them at any time and they touch their ankles. Now, of course, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Now, I don't know nothing about all that. And my husband said, yeah, you do. You know about that. I know I don't know about that. But I can't invalidate his story, but I always say trust but verify. So I am still waiting for the receipts to drop because he did say they was coming.
Can I add to that, Sharrell?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to also say that I also believe that he's telling the truth. There are a lot of Illuminati bussy bandits in Hollywood, and they are particularly called the boule when it comes to the Black elite, that there is a society or fraternity of Black elites that protect each other. They also use the criminal.
Wait a minute, Conscious, because we just did a story yesterday about Puffy's male victim coming forward, and he said that Puffy was in the Illuminati, and I believe the Black sector, and I think he called it the boule.
Yes. It's a circle of elite, of Black elites who galvanize.
Is Jay-Z and Beyonce in it?
It's being said, I mean, you got to ask yourself, Sharrell, if these people were not a part of the secret society, why do they throw up all of the gang signs associated with that?
Is it this?
Yes, it's the all-seeing eye, it's the hand over the eye, it's the checkerboard floors, it's the Baphomet clothing. Now, let me ask you, Sharrell, if you're not a Blood or a Crip, would you be throwing up Blood or Crip signs?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No, but I just found out that this is the sign.
Yeah. So people will argue these things don't exist and these people are not a part of this fraternity. Then why do they consistently use this imagery and this symbolism in their artwork, in their marketing, in their aesthetics, in their music videos? Why is it there? For what purpose? Who's pushing it? Why is it being pushed? It doesn't exist, but it's there in plain sight.
Hollywood is so weird. They got all these secrets. It's
Right.
so weird. Kendall said, let's ask Tyra. She left him for a reason back in the day. What is she talking about? What is Kendall talking about? Anybody know?
Is that his wife that left him? Talking about the guy?
I don't know.
I don't know much about Christian Keyes' personal life, to be honest. But I do believe him. I just believe that his execution was terrible. And I believe that one of the reasons why Cassie did not make a thing before she filed her 35-page lawsuit against Diddy is because she knew she was talking about a man of immense wealth, that her children, her husband, and herself could go missing. I believe that Cassie read the room and considered her personal safety as well. So she pulled the trigger first, and then she linked back afterwards.
And this is what I think too. Now, I think the storyline itself do exist. So I don't want people to think like, when you're talking about men with money do crazy things, I think the story could exist. It's just something just didn't sit right with everything. Maybe in a few days it'll come to me. I don't know. It just didn't seem right.
Ooh, child, this is a lot. It's crazy. And there's a dark element of Hollywood that you should be scared of. When people go missing, we've heard, with these puffy things, I believe it. I believe some people have these dark secrets and they don't want them out. And if you get them out, they will unalive you. I thought it was ridiculous at first, but I do believe that Puffy has something to do with Kim Porter's death. Now, let me say this really quickly. Jason Lee came out a couple days ago and he said he was upset with Beyonce because Beyonce didn't invite him to her movie premiere. And he was saying he had some receipts on her and that he was going to drop the receipts if Kelly Rowland didn't come to his interview on his show. Okay, now, and everybody dragged Jason Lee because leave Beyonce alone. Beyonce is one of our few superstars that is not shrouded in scandal. So I thought. Now, the rumors out there that no, he doesn't have receipts on Beyonce. He's got receipts on Jay-Z. So I already called Opinion and asked her about this. And some of the receipts are that Jay-Z sleeps with underage girls. And it's been happening since the beginning of time, back when he dated Foxy Brown, who was 15, and he was 27 at the time. You say, Perry, this is absolutely absurd, and you think that somebody's just putting these out there.
No. When you asked me, what we think about this story, I said I don't think people care.
Doesn't mean you don't believe it.
Well, yeah, no. I it's very believable. I mean, that in the music industry, nice looking young girl come up, the guy sleep with her, do whatever. But it wasn't the same as the P. Diddy stories. I mean, Rihanna was in that, discussion.
Yeah, they saying he slept with Rihanna, and it just goes on. Why I'm talking about it, because what Hollywood is weird AF. These people are strange. They have strange sexual habits. I don't even know if it's worth working in. I mean, you got the powerful abusing their power, making people sleep with them. I told you this, Conscious. Ain't no way in hell I'm blowing Harvey Weinstein, period. I just not gonna have the job. But it seems like, it's hell. They describe Hollywood
Would
as
you let
hell.
him smell it, Sharrell? Could he smell it for 100?
I don't want nothing to do with these people.
No, and that's what I say about that too, right? Because I understand people got to have a job, and people like, oh, my boss, and if I didn't allow his advances, then I wouldn't have a job. Perry would not have a job. I might have life imprisonment.
Well, but as opinion saying, so people are different. I
Right.
didn't understand during that live. You got proof? Question mark. Go straight to the police, no warning. It feels like you wanted the perp to know and offer you money, offer money. It could be too. I don't know what to believe at this point. But right now, because we're dealing with the puffy stuff, I need evidence. And Tyler, people are saying, why ain't you came out and talked about it? Maybe you don't know, but people think you weird. I'm just going to tell you that right now they think that you could have been the person, and people just think Tyler Perry's weird. It's
Well,
weird.
he's done a lot of backhanded stuff, Sharrell. He actually stole Medea allegedly from another creator by the name of Miss
Stop.
Sophia.
Who told you this? Oh my
Miss
God.
Sophia herself, who originated the character Medea that was reappropriated by Tyler Perry.
Stop.
Yes.
You're telling me right now that he stole the idea, Medea?
He allegedly stole Medea from Miss Sophia, who created Medea.
And pitched the show and pitched the idea, and then he took it.
I'm done. I'm done.
You got to
I am
remember
so
also, Sharrell.
done.
You got to remember also, Sharrell. Tyler Perry was instrumental, along with Oprah and broke ass Lee Daniels, in blackballing Monique. So these are very shady, powerful people. To Christian Keyes' point, who do have the power to
I'm done.
to steal your content, to harass your likeness, and to essentially get rid of you.
Damn.
And make you look crazy in the process, and then sit back and laugh as a boule.
Damn.
Whew. I'm done. I'm done. I never heard this. Y'all spare me in the comments. Where you been? You're slow. I never heard this.
This is why people don't F with
Oh my God.
Oprah or Tyler. And Oprah is she's the worst afro of them all.
She is the worst because they said she pimping out the kids in the orphanage.
Okay, stop. Okay, this too much gossip. This too much. I'm done. I'm just too much gossip in one damn day. I am done. I was going to talk about Cardi B today. I'll save Cardi for tomorrow. This is crazy. And you're watching me right now have a reaction. I never heard this about Tyler Perry. I am so disgusted. You don't do shit like that to people. You know, you get an idea, you take it to somebody you think gonna help you, and they steal from you, and that happens over and over again. So many times that's happened to people.
And you know, it recently happened to me because of another big tooth influencer who stole my content.
Oh, it just happened to my friend Conscious. It did. You don't steal people's work. It makes me so damn mad. I'm done with you, Tyler. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. Sharrell, look up Walter Hampton. Tyler had him beat badly for exposing his sexuality.
Wow.
Ronnie, that's enough. I can't in one day.
Damn.
I can't. Christian, I'm going to say this after this conversation. Then we're going to wrap this up. I hope it happened to you. I hate that it happened to you. But because of the presentation, it's very important now that you present the evidence and tell us who it is. You're already there. If you didn't want to tell us, you did. And so now you got to complete the story, because if it's not Tyler, the thief, no, I'm just kidding. If it's not Tyler, then we need to know, because you have people riding for you now. You have people that are standing behind you and cheering you on and want to support you in this. So if it happened, please please present your evidence and tell us who it is, because you're telling us a partial story. Anybody got anything to say before we go? Because child, don't put nothing else on me more, Conscious. I cannot believe that Tyler Perry. Oh my God. All right. I wanted to thank the 4,800 people that were in the chat today. Go ahead, Conscious.
No, I was just going to say that in the age of Aquarius, Sharrell, your face is about to be on the floor. Mount Olympus is coming down. In the next 2,500 years, it's coming down. And we're seeing the inception of it. It's coming down. Oh, and tell Jason Lee, I hope he's ready to be in protective custody, because he gonna need it. Messing around with the black boule.
All right. Perry, take us out. I can't. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Everybody, happy holiday.
Happy
Fuck
holidays.
this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit. I'm out. That was too much.
No thanks.